What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So this video is going to kick off a series I've wanted to do for the SketchUp free online version, just because I feel like there's not a ton of resources out there for that. So in this series, we're going to talk about some cool stuff you can do and also some things you really need to know about working with the free online version of SketchUp. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so if you're like a true beginner to the free version of SketchUp, I'm going to link to 2 playlists in the notes down below. There's my Learn SketchUp in 30 Days series, as well as my Getting Started in SketchUp Free for Beginners series. I'll link to both of those in the notes below. This is going to focus more on specific tools. And so in the first video, just because I really like the tool, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Follow Me tool. And so the Follow Me tool is a tool that you're going to use when you have a shape or a profile, like this base profile, and you want to extrude it along a path. Like let's say that we wanted to take this base and have it turn the corner up here. If we tried to do that with the push-pull tool, right? If we tap the P key and then tried to extrude this up here, we're gonna run into issues because there's no good way to really get it to turn the corner. Like you could come in here and kind of like mess around with trying to rotate things and then extrude it, but notice how it kind of messes up the geometry. So it's just not ideal to do just like a singular push-pull in order to do this. But SketchUp has a very cool tool built in called the Follow Me tool that is specifically designed to extrude things along paths like this. So the way that it works is, first off, you have to find it. And so depending on the way this is set up, you might have to go into your little 3 dots right here and click on this and go find the Follow Me tool. If you click on it, that's going to activate the tool, but it's also going to make it pop up in this window over here. But basically the way this works is you want to start, there's really 2 ways you can use it. You can activate the tool by clicking on it and then click on an object, move your mouse like this. That's generally not the way that I recommend that you do this. What I usually recommend is that you pre-select your path. So I'm just going to select these 2 edges right here, activate the Follow Me tool, and then I'm going to click on the surface that I want to extrude. And so notice what this does is this takes this object or this profile and it extrudes it along this path. Where this is most valuable is on things like corners, because what it's going to do is it's going to automatically turn the corner in here so that you get this like smooth extrusion around the edge. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, but for now, let's take a look at how this might work with an arc. So if I come in here, try to activate this tool with this arc, and then, so I want to select my path, click on the button for a Follow Me tool, and then click on this surface. And what that's going to do is that's going to extrude this object along the arc. And so one thing to note about this, and this is getting into more like more the way that geometry works in SketchUp, but notice how this is going to take this object and so the number of segments in this object is going to drive the way that this looks, right? So when I did this, and I can go ahead and undo this, notice how this arc right here, if I go into the entity info, has 12 segments. Now, if I was to drop this down to like 6 segments, right? Basically, I've reduced the complexity of that arc in here. Well, that's going to show up in the way that you extrude this. So if I activate that Follow Me tool again, notice how this is basically just extruding it and then turning every time there's a segment in here. So if you do want to control the way that this is going to look, what you can do is you can just up the number of segments. So what I did in this case is I took this arc and instead of having like 6 segments, I typed in a value of 48 segments. That gives me a much smoother curve. But now if I activate the tool like this, notice how it's going to give me a really smooth extrusion. Now, one thing to note about that when you're doing this is say that I was to select this surface right here and like triple click on it. Notice how this basically created 458 entities. That's the number of edges and faces that are in this object. Well, if I was to triple click on this one, notice how it has way more than that because we had more segments in here. So you can see how this is kind of where the segments of the curve were. So it gave us a much smoother shape, but at the same time, it created a lot more stuff in your model. So my recommendation would be to kind of like walk that balance. Generally speaking, when you're extruding something like this in the background, it doesn't really matter. Usually you might use like 12 segments instead of 6. 6 is a little low. Just be aware though that when it does this, it is creating more geometry in your model. Now, you can get creative with the kinds of shapes that you can extrude, right? So what I've done here is I've created almost like a gear shape or something like that. But if I was to take this, I'm going to drop this segment count down to like 12. But if I was to take this use the follow me tool to extrude, notice how you can use this in order to create this kind of like extruded, notched out shape like this. So you can get creative with the profiles that you use to extrude objects along paths in here. Now let's talk just a little bit more about that pre-selection. So when you have something like this shape right here, notice how I have a continuous path. So it's moving along these curves right here. A lot of people, when they first get started, do come in here, activate that tool, and then try to like drag it along this surface. That'll work, but it kind of like jumps around. It's just a little bit clunky, right? Like dragging through this and making sure that I get it all can be kind of slow, but you can definitely do it, and then it'll create that shape. It's going to be much easier if you just come in here and just pre-select everything in that path, activate the tool, and then click on the surface. So again, highly recommend that path pre-selection in here when you're doing this in order to give you the ability to extrude this with speed. And so one of the things I like about this tool is it'll also close in your object, but you can also use it to quickly create complex profiles in kind of a creative sort of way. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle in here. And what I want to do, whoops, we want this to go up. But what I want to do is I can use this in order to create any kind of profile that I want. So let's say, for example, that I was to draw couple rectangles in here and erase this out. Maybe take this surface right here, get rid of these edges like this. Well, what this will do is this will allow you to extrude this all the way around this shape like this, and it's actually going to close it in. So it's extremely valuable from that standpoint. But one other thing I want to point out in here is when you're using an object like this one, you don't have to select all of the edges as the path either. So if I come in here, I don't need to shift click on each one of these. What I can do instead is I can just select the face right here, and then I can activate the follow me tool, and it's going to use the perimeter edges of this shape as the path. So if I come in here, activate the follow me tool, and then click on this surface, notice what that's going to do is that's going to extrude this all the way around the outside in here, and it's going to close it in. Then I can just come in here and erase out this extra, and I'm able to create things like cabinet doors and other things like that really easily. Now, one of the things I've seen people use the follow me tool for a lot is doing like rotational arrays, right? So up till now, what we've done is we've done this as kind of like along things that either turn a corner or along singular arcs. Well, you can also use this to like revolve an object. So for example, let's say I was to draw, and a lot of the time I'll just draw kind of like a flat surface like this. But say that I was to draw just kind of the profile of a shape like this one. What you can do is you can use this to kind of like lathe the object in a circle. So if I select this surface right here, activate the follow me tool, and then click on this, notice what that's going to do is that's going to basically extrude this all the way along the circle so that I have a shape like this one. Now, one thing that you might consider doing when you're doing this is you might offset this in a little bit and kind of continue this across, maybe draw this line up a little bit. But if you were to create this as more of a hollow shape, you could actually use this to create a glass that's actually hollow on the inside. There's a lot of things to consider there, like I made this way too thick, other things like that, but you can see how you can use that in order to quickly create these lathe shapes in SketchUp as well. Now, one other thing that a lot of people don't know about this tool, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a couple more copies of this object right here. So I'm gonna scale this one down, scale this one up, maybe move it over a little bit. But when you activate the follow me tool, your objects don't need to be touching the path, meaning that if I have this object and I want to extrude it in a circle, I can just select this to use it as a path, but then I can activate the follow me tool and I can select this surface, and notice how it's going to use that path kind of relative to this object. So let's say I was to move this one up in the 3D space a little bit, I can still use this to extrude it, and it's going to do that up above right here. So not having to actually have your object on a path can be extremely valuable and helpful, because sometimes trying to get things to like intersect the path properly and other things like that can be very frustrating. So you don't always have to have your objects touching this in order for it to work. All right, so I will link to this full Essentials series on this page. As videos get added, that playlist is going to get longer, but I'll also link to some beginner tutorials in the notes down below. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this series. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.